Hello, I am Pizin and this is my new video on my channel. And in this video about the Stationfall, and I will describe the rules of the game. I already recorded several rules video before, but this will be on the release version. And I also recorded solo rules, which are in separate video, which I will include in the description. Stationfall is game from Matt Eklund about the space station that is doomed and will fall into atmosphere in like 15 minutes. There are like 12 or more characters running on the station, each with his own goals and abilities, and you play as one of them and you try to complete your goals. So it's a hidden role game, but the main twist is that you can play with almost anybody. Game came with 3 rulebooks, launch manual, which includes tutorial and the basic description of the game with many pictures and examples and how to play it. There is a reference manual which includes rules, but in very strict technical way, but short one. And the next one are the character dossier, which include descriptions of all characters in the game, and also at the end they are described the projectics. So how to play the game? This is already set up game for the beginner setup with the easy characters. And look for the according to the number of players, you choose number of characters. So in this 4-player game, I choose 12 characters. Characters have different difficulties. You can check my file with setup for characters, and which I also include in the description, where you can see different levels of characters. These characters are also described in the launch manual as the easiest one, so it's good to start with them. After you choose your characters, place them beside the board and for each character find its spawn, which are these wooden things, and also find the same identity card, which are the small ones. Most of character has one identity card, but there are few exceptions. And on the board here, in the rules, there is a description of components and where to place them. So every character has written on its card where to place that pawn. So like engineers starts in area control, which is here. And some character also brings some modification on the board, like the engineer brings a reactor token. DD will bring this rocket wings, and some characters can bring some new sections, like this cargo claw is brought to the game by Troubleshoot. Also, you have to place on every icon the same type of things, so like the helmets, bludgeons, artifact, antimatter, briefcase, nanogels, and also for pots, the green sections on the top with side with arrow up. So it says requires abandoned chip. Then there is placed power status token here on no section damaged. This abandoned chip is placed here on the top. And according to the number of players, there is played minute marker on the spot with right number of players. So we have 13 minutes until end. And here on the minute 0, you shuffle 3 of these re-entry tokens and place one of it. It allows to have 1 extra minute, maybe. And on the tokens, there are token for camera on and jammers on. Also, 1 of 8 Project X is shuffled secretly here, and 1 is placed. And I recommend not using wormhole for the first game, because it changes game too much. Also, the logs are placed on the sections with the green block. Then you need to find these kompromats for each character that are in the game. So it should be 12 for us. Shuffle them, place down, and place them on the purple spots with kompromat, like this one, on the board, from down to up. Only for on the purple ones, and if you have some left over, you place left over on the green green spots. Every player chooses the color and has 8 influence cubes, the eye, the reveal token, activation disk with A, 3 time tokens, hourglass, the bribe with Bitcoin, And this gobble, which every player plays on the innocents on this suspect deck in the left down corner. And that's probably everything for setup. And the last part of the setup is to taking the identity cards. So in this game we have 12 identity cards, and every player takes 2 of them in secret, like these 2, and chooses which of them will be his main player character, and the second one will be his bonus character. So if I choose to play as Aster Chimp, I see my agendas here. So I gain 3 points if Aster Chimp escape, which is the Earth icon, and I get extra points if I possess briefcase, artifact, or gun. Most of characters want to escape from the station, but not all of them. Like this engineer, he wants that no bad things from the station get to the Earth. So he likes to detonate the antimatter on the board and get no contaminated character on Earth. And you can see the goals are separated, so you can complete some of them, but it's not necessary to complete all of them. If I choose that, also there are some characters like the medical, who gets points for reviving down people on the board, but nobody told him that he should not kill them before it. And so if I choose Aster Chimp as my main character, then I flip that bonus character 180 degrees. So for my main character, I want to complete this goals, but from my bonus, I want to save him or kill him, depending on, let's look. If I will have Counselor as my bonus character, you can see the 2 Earth icons on the top. So I want to help him escape, and if I manage it, I get 2 points. The points according to the number of stars. But if my bonus character is, it's called the Drudge with this red cross, I want to have him down before the Stationfall and not escaped. And it's quite important that every identity here, except for Doctor, is only one, so nobody else has this same character as you. And I keep this card in hand, or I can place them secretly on the board. Let's start more stuff. How to play the game. Game is played in the rounds, and every round is 1 minute in the game time. So we have, in this game we have 13 minutes. Everybody plays once in this round, has his turn in the round, and then after everybody has played, we start from the random first player who is chosen at the start. And after everybody player finish their turns, the minute is moved down and down and down and down. So we have 13 minutes until end, and there is possibility of 1/3 chance of extra minute at on the minute 0, but only sometimes. And what you can do on your round, on your turn, you can make the basic sequence here, the top. The sequence how to play. So we can reveal as first part. Then we can place cubes on some characters that influence. Then activate some character or possibly Renegotiate to get some cube backs. And last part is resolve. Let's go through them now. So the reveal. Right now, from the start, all characters are hidden and nobody is playing. Nobody knows that you play as them. So they are called NPC, as non-player character. But at the start of your turn, you have option to say I am playing as Chimp, and I place my eye on Chimp. And because there will be probably some cubes in the card, so my cubes go back to me, and all other cubes go to this betrayal box in top left corner. And cubes there are mostly locked and not able to use. And after that, my Chimp gets his reveal power, which is described in the top-down part. So the Chimp gains the Zero Born ability, which allows him to move quickly on the station in zero gravity. But some character has instant power, like Medical gets Bludgeon, and also some get some extra action, like Exile gets 2 new actions he can do. Revealing is good that nobody else is able to play with your character, but everybody knows what you are, and that is not so good. It is not necessary to reveal during the game, but you will reveal at the very end of the game during the review phase. There is also one other option. It's called Shredding Reveal, that if I know that my Chimp is doing badly and probably is dead somewhere and will not make it away from the station, so I can choose to discard his card secretly, identity card, and I reveal as my bonus character, as engineer. But I am no longer able to get some extra points from bonus character because I have no one. And most reveals happens during second part of the game. So then the player part is called influence. I can place any number of my cubes to one character. That is here. So I can place like one cube, one troubleshooter on the down right corner. I cannot place cubes on character that is revealed as another player PC by character. And I can place more cubes, more than one cube, but it helps to control the character better, but you have the limited amount of the cubes. So usually it is better to place one cube most of the time, but it happens. It can be different if it's needed. And then I can activate my conspirator. And conspirator is character where I have where it's when the character is left, so it is not down. I have at least one cube there, and no other player has more cubes than I. So in this case, troubleshooter is conspirator for both green and red. But in this case, I would not able to activate the troubleshooter. And I can also activate my own PC if it's alive. So if I want to activate like this troubleshooter, I place my activation disk on her, and I get two actions because there was no disk on this character at start of my turn. I have two actions. If then later red player will place cube here and place his disk here, he gets only one action because there is disk already. But also my own disk counts. So if in next round I also want to activate troubleshooter again, I get one action because he's exhausted and has my disk on her. So typically I place one cube on another character, activate the stranger with two actions, and on my third round I do not need to place more cubes. I can activate troubleshooter with two actions. And what are the actions? Actions are described the rules on the end of the reference manual, and you can see there are basic actions which are allowed to be done anywhere, sections action which are done in some section on the board, and console actions which are quite special ones. And as I said from the start, character gets two actions or maybe only one. So the basic actions. Right. First action which is done is step. It's mean moving over the station. And you can see the station has two two rings. And big axis going from K-pots on the top to the bridge on the bottom. These rooms are called sections and they are connected with corridors. So if I activate troubleshooter, which is here, I can as one step move to one connected section. So I can move from print shop here to forward exhaust here. And as my second action, I can move here. If my character has tunnel red ability, which my troubleshooter has, I can use these yellow dashed lines, which are the vents, so I can move one step here. Also, the green characters with the green icons are humans, and the gray ones are robots. And there is one cyborg, which is half of them, but most of the time he works as a human. In some sections, like here in the magnetic containment or in this outer space, there are hazards like the gas, or there can be some fire. And then humans cannot go to the space with the hazard. So this troubleshooter cannot go here because it will down him immediately. But the robots are okay. The hazards make no problem for them. But if human has the helmet, which can he get somewhere on the station, is protected from hazard. And cyborg character needs helmet. There are also 4 species that allows to go to outer space around the station, which are with these green arrows. There are 2 on the sides, which are one way, and one on the top, one on the bottom, and one on the top. So my troubleshooter can, as one step, go through the airlock to outer space. And then she can move here or down here. But if the section is damaged with this token, airlock is not working. It is also possible that if there is some down character in your section, to drag him with you. So I do one step here and I drag inspector with me. That's okay. But I can drag only once per turn or be dragged once per turn. So you cannot run too much with dead bodies behind you. It's probably everything. The pink. Hope. And forgot. There are the locks here, which lock some important parts. And there are few characters that are officers as their ability, like engineer and chief. And officers can move to the lock and it removes the lock. Also dragging officer down officer with you is okay to remove the locks. Then we have the pickup action. Pickup action allows to pick some item from section. So if my troubleshooter is here, you can pick the item. Items are the where tokens in same section, so I can pick the nanogel and put to my inventory. Most of the character has 3 inventory slots and cannot pick more if it's full. It is also possible to pick this kompromat, the key, but it goes directly to the player hand. So it goes to my hand. And I can have more of them. And with kompromat, anytime during the activation, I can use kompromat on the character that is described on this kompromat. It means some compromising materials like some videos or photos on him or her. I can use this kompromat during activate to do one action with Daredevil. So I can say Daredevil to like move here or pick kompromat or do something else. And there is one kompromat for each character. And you can use one kompromat per turn. Also, you have this bribe. I can use it on any character in the game to do one action with him. I can bribe engineer to tell him move here or do something else. But if I keep my bribe, it's 1 point for me, and if the engineer is another player, it's 1 point for him. So it's strong, but it will cost you. And also some character has some free actions, which are described on him, like this medical has free step to down humans. And also during your activation, you have 1 free pickup or drop action. So if I am this troubleshooter, I can move twice, 1, 2 as my basic action, and I can do my free pickup to pick the rocket wings if I will have free spot. Or I can drop the item from character on the to the floor. Another action is throwing. I can throw 1 item from my character to 1 section away, not through the vents. I can throw the nanogels here, or if I am here, I can throw it through the airlock to outer space, or if there is down character, I can throw the dead body outside. And if I have the firebomb, it can be manufactured here. I can throw it under self or besides, and it starts fire there. I throw it here to Hemlock, starts fire, and damage the section. And if there was some human, it will down him. And one important thing, There is something called self-preservation. You cannot do action with character that will kill him immediately. So the human will not jump to the fire without helmet or jump to the space or something like that. So you cannot commit suicide unless it's allowed by some special characters, like the telepathic red. The next actions, drawing, giving. No. Yes, you can also give one item from your inventory to another character which is collocated, and collocated mean in same section. Continue. We have next. Besides items, which are the square ones, there are two types of data. There are these types. And also there is possible to have more with some special characters, but these two types are always in the game. Evidence or execute. And if some character is in this biolab, he can manufacture as action his this data. So I get copy of execute on top of my character. And I now know what the project XE mean. And if anybody activates this character, he can peek on this project X card. And also many character has goals related to this data or to evidence. Like this Huawei is secret reporter and wants to news and with secret or evidence. But there are some which do not want to get it to the earth. And evidence can be manufactured this in the security station. So in same way, my character can get the copy of evidence data, which means some camera recordings. And they are important for suspicions, which I will talk later, and also for some goals. And there is a copy action, which allows to make a copy of this data to another characters. From the start, there are the jammers, which are now turned on. So you can copy data only to collocate characters. So I can copy data only to character in my spot. So if I will be collocated with my troubleshooter with one data is collocated with medical, I can copy him as one action execute or the evidence. But if jammers are off, I can copy to anybody in the station, like to a search him. Or I can send it to down inspector because it's like sending email. Now let's continue. if my character is revealed, and I can use delete data action, which deletes the data, but only if I am revealed. And also data are deleted here in physics labs if you end your turn there. And what we have next? Attacking. Next action is quite important, is attacking. To attack someone, you need some weapon, and there are two basic types of weapon. One is bludgeon, the yellow one. Some type of tool you grab on your way on station. And another one is gun, which is a bit more rare, but more powerful, the red one. So if I have the gun, I can as one action attack someone in my section. So this troubleshooter can attack counselor or medical and down him. So I can down medical, I flip him to down side and put the down token on him. Down doesn't mean that it's completely down. It's more like dying. The character can be revived later. Also, character can become by some effect annihilated, and that means completely disintegrated and not able to get back. But the troubleshooter also can down the counselor. But now they are important, the cameras. If they are on or not. Because as you can see here, if you down human in lead section, and lead section is everything that is not dark with this black bulb, and the cameras are on, you are suspect. So I downed human in lead section with cameras on, and I am suspect, which is not problem now, but can be later. And also, I forgot if that, but if that counselor would have the helmet protects him from bludgeons. I need gun to kill someone with helmet. But the robots are not protected by helmet. It is possible to rob someone with bludgeon or gun with same conditions as before. So I can rob some item from the character. So if the medical is here, I can rob like artifact from him for one action, and he is forced to give it to me. And also the helmet protects humans from robbing with bludgeons, but it doesn't make people suspect. Then sabotaging. You can sabotage with bludgeon or gun. And if I sabotage some section, the damage section is placed here, and that section is no longer working. So it will be like here in Biolab, I can no longer manufacture secret, and this the purple section action on the are no longer working. So like in here airlocks, this airlock action launch is no longer working. And some sections have some special rules when they are damaged. So if someone damaged security station, as written here, you turn off cameras and jammers, and they cannot be turned on unless it is repaired. And there are three sections with the lightning: fuel cells, mainframe, and reactor. If someone damage one of them, we go down with the power. So this token moves here, and we are on backup power, which means the cameras and jammers are turned off and cannot be turned on unless repaired. And you can see here that reactor is a bit special. It can be damaged by bludgeon, but because we have engineer in the game, it releases the gas all around if it's damaged by light gun. And if two sections are damaged, power section like mainframe and fuel cells, which also place fire here and here, fire and damage. There is a blackout. Blackout means all sections are dark, no section action works, except timed launch and airlock. Abandoned ship triggers, which I explain later. Project X is released. And the lock stays, but as action, they can be removed. That was sabotaging. Continue. Oh. Reviving. So if the character has nanogel, take the Chancellor has nanogel. He can revive one character in same section. So the Chancellor can revive robots or humans, and the medic is revived. And the nanogel flips to one use, and after second use, it's discarded. And nanogel can be manufactured here. Also, this medic character can, as action, revive humans, and it helps with his agendas. And last thing, last possible action. Is waiting. It's not used too much, but I can take my disc back from character, and next turn she is not exhausted, so can do two actions which can be better. So that was the basic action. And now we have the action section. Section actions are the purple one in the sections, like releasing projectiles, manufacturing, airlock, section launch, or more. And they are done in that section, and they need to be done in that section. As was seen before, you can manufacture some items or data. You can manufacture secret data. You can manufacture nanogel, firebomb, evidence. Here you can manufacture helmet or bludgeon, or the officers can manufacture gun. Then another actions. I will not describe all of them, but only the important ones. Here can be cameras turned on off. Then if someone character enters this violet, he is contaminated, gets this token in his inventory. So if this troubleshoot enters, he's contaminated and must drop one item, and its contamination takes one slot. It is possible to decontaminate one character there in tanks, but it's rarely used. Here can be repaired robots in machine shop. There is meditation only for PC, so rebuild characters, and then you can take all cubes from betrayal box to self. Here in shed room, you can take any kompromat from anywhere on the board. There is cargo claw, which can pick item in outer space or down character there. Transmitting is quite important. If any character here has data, so if engineer has like evidence, he can transmit it to Earth and to one of these offsites, authorities or news. So as one action, engineer can transmit to the news, or as another action can transmit to the authorities. And now it's important this fact check. So if someone is suspect, and you send evidence to authorities, all other characters players than you became the guilty, and the guilty players cannot win. Only way how to redeem self is to bring your own copy of evidence to the Earth with your player character in here. And if you do so, you turn back to suspect. And I also forgot one thing, that someone use kompromat on your PC, you can reject the action, but then you became the suspect. You can also reject the bribe, but nothing happened. Then I'm here. And how to exit the ship, how to escape. Quite important, because most character wants it, and there are several ways how to get from the station. The typical one is getting some officer, someone with officer ability, to the bridge. So if I get like engineer to the bridge, only officer can use this actions. He can trigger a vendor chip, which flips this token, and now the pods, most of the pods can be launched. I explain a bit later. Before that, most of the standard pods cannot be launched and not able to get out. He can also do release Project X, so it triggers a banner chip and release the Project X. So this is flipped, and something happens. It can be some monster, or it can be some technology like Death Ray or some robotic assassin, which appears here in the Voltex. And the card says how it behaves. Also, officers here in Cryolab can release Project X, or if someone gets inside, can damage it and release Project X. And another way here is to trigger self-destruct, which triggers a banner chip here in the corner, and also flips the antimatter and arm it. The antimatter is here in magnetic containment from the start, quite locked and protected. But if it's done, then armed, and it explodes 4 turns in future. So if I done it, I place my disk on 4 more turns, and after my action, after my turn in that round, the antimatter explodes. Antimatter can be picked, moved. If the antimatter explodes on the board, it's Stationfall and the game end. It can explode on some launch pod and it annihilates everything and anything inside. Also, the antimatter can explode in outer space, so it annihilates everybody there and also damaged all sections with airlocks. It is also possible that someone will come here and eject antimatter to outer space, which armate. Or if someone gets here, get away the lock, can carry it with itself, and it arms the antimatter also. And antimatter always explode at the end at the Stationfall. If there is not enough time to explode, it will always explode at the end. So these actions usually trigger a banner chip. which allows the pods to be launched. There are 4 basic pods on the top. In this setup we have one extra pod here, down. And they are the basic way how to escape. So if I want to escape in the pod, say with Master Chimp, I can came to the pod. And I can do timed launch action here, which plays my, and I can do it only if I fulfill the requirements, which here are the having a manager. But here, it's special, it says you need to be occupied by inspector or some live character with Jurik. And Jurik is ability of some characters. Or this medevac pod is quite very special. You need to have some down human on board. But abandoned ship is not required. It can be launched quite early. So if the Master Chimps came here and do the timed launch, this pod is starting the launching, but it will launch at the end of my next turn. And many things can happen between that. More characters can come in, or someone can force my Master Chimp out, or something else can happen. Also, you can see in the pod has a limit of 3 occupants, so only 3 characters or monster can be inside, and also downed character counts. And at the end of my next turn, this pod will launch, and everybody inside is escaped. So I placed this disc on it, and they are quite safe, and you cannot play anymore with saved character, with escape characters. But if that pod will be damaged, it will explode, and everybody inside is annihilated. Another way how to launch the pod is to use someone else. So if the counselor is inside the pod, it's okay. And now the medical can use the section launch option here to launch the pod. To bribe medical or use kompromat on him to launch it in same turn, because it happens immediately. But as before, if it's damaged, everybody inside is annihilated. And another option is to use bridge launch here. If the abandoned ship is triggered, officer on the bridge can launch all occupied pods with fulfilled requirements and launch them. Another way how to get from the station is to find these rocket wings. Are brought by Daredevil character. Let's set up. So any character here with rocket wings in inventory can launch to the earth but the humans need helmet, including their deal. But that's way only for one character on the station. It is possible to have like rescue ship here with border, or there can be wormhole in the Baltics, but only sometimes. So these are the section actions, the launching. The last part are the last thing we have left are the console actions. Console actions are down here, the orange ones, and from the standard actions here are two, and they can be done in security station or in mainframe if it's not damaged, or by character with hacker like away, who can you can done it instead of pick up or drop, and if the jammers are off, you can done the console action anywhere. And two console action we have from the start are turn jammers on off. And second is hazard suppression. You can turn fire to gas or remove the gas. So the humans can do that. That was the action. The last part of the turn, called resolve. Usually, most of the time, nothing happens in this time. But if you have like the monster on board, the monster moves during the resolve phase and kills character or do some other bad stuff. Also, any time disk that were placed during the previous turn are triggered. So like the launching pods or using some special abilities of some characters. And that's done. And after that, another character plays. Play his turn. Oh. So this way, we move the minutes after all players done their turns. Down, down, down. If we reach minute 1, the abandon triggers now. If it was not happening before, but now it's probably too late. And after a minute, after that, when everybody finished minute 1, we flip this re-entry token, and if it's this, the game has 1 more minute. If it's fireball, it ends immediately. After that, there is a final scoring and final part. So everybody who has not revealed yet must reveal. So taking his cube bags and throwing other cubes away, and can do shedding reveal. Then player characters can deliver data. So if I like my Asterchim Kate, and it's PC revealed character, he can deliver his secret to any or none or both sides. And if you deliver evidence, you turn from guilty to suspect. But some characters do not care if they are suspect, like the cyborg, who can win even if guilty. And last part is scoring. So we check for each character if and there are 4 parts of scoring for each character. If you completed your goals, so like Asterchimp if escaped, and if it has the plus, like here, you need to have completed the previous part. So Asterchimp gets points for guns and artifact, but only if Asterchimp escapes. If he does not escape, he gets no points. Then we check for our bonus character. So if it's scratch with the red crosses, if it's down and not escaped, I get 2 points. Or if it's ally with hearts, I get so many points if that character escaped. Then I get 1 point if I have mine bribe. And I get extra point if someone bribe my PC. Someone bribe my chimp, I get point. But if I bribe before my Asterchimp, my own bribe does not count. And the one last thing is checking the cube limit. Every character has 8 cubes. And this limit in corners says how many cubes I can use in the game without penalties. So if I have like cubes here, some cube in betrayal box. So this is okay. I have 5 cubes in the game. 3 here, 2 here. It's okay because my limit is 5. But if I would use more cubes, then each cube over my limit is minus point. And I also forgot that there was option to renegotiate, which can be done instead of activation, which is usually done only during the ending of the game, which allows you to take 1 cube back from character that is not down or escape, not annihilated or escape. And I take cube back and also my disk back. And that's probably everything from the important rules. Game writes interesting stories each time. One more. tiebreaker for the scoring. Here. If more players are same number of points, the first tiebreaker is fewest cubes in betrayal box, and the second tiebreaker is number of unused influence cubes. And if there is in 6 to 8 players there are 2 winners, and for the 8 players there are 3 winners. There are also special rules for solo 2 and 3 players. Solo I will not describe as it is included as a separate video. If you play 2 players, it is described here in the friends manual. Everybody controls 2 characters, and you use special 2-player tokens which are included in the game, and you switch your position as one player plays with one character, then second player plays with his character, and then you play with your second character, and the other one plays with his second. You cannot do shading reveal, and you have one bonus character for your team. And only your cubes count when revealing, only cubes for that particular character. Kompromats can be used for both of them, and bribes can be used only for that particular color. And also 3-player games is different. Everybody has 3 cards and has 2 bonus characters, and that games is a bit longer. And also it is possible to play as a teams that cooperate with each other. Here in reference manual are the basic terms and reference where they are found. It is also important for characters to on their cards to read their goals, their tips, how to play it. And from the start, it's good to pick up some kompromats. In launch manual, also there is nice bunch of tips I wrote how to play characters and how to do in beginning and the end, how to make it. It is possible to win if your character is down or annihilated because you are fulfilling his prophecy, legacy, but not always. And that's all from me. Enjoy the game. Take care. Bye bye.